Hello guys, welcome to your 12th tutorial, and in this video I'm going to teach you guys how to log out from the website. So we've learned about how to sign in and validate our credentials in the previous videos, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to how to allow a user to exit from a website. So our website allows users to log in as students and as teachers. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to. We're going to start with logging out from the teacher side. Then we'll duplicate the same thing and make it work for the student side. Okay, so let's get started. So in the previous tutorial, this is where we ended, and this is how we're going to do it. So when a teacher is logged in, we're going to have a button where the teacher can click on, and when the teacher clicks on that button, it will send the teacher directly to the home page. And whenever the teacher clicks on the back button, it won't work. It won't come to this page again because you've already logged out. Okay, so in the first thing, we have to bring our button, and we're going to create our HTML template. Okay, so clean this and let's start our HTML code. So you indent your things well, and you make if you don't understand any of these, please watch the previous videos. If you don't understand those, let me know and I'll help you out. So the title is going to be teacher, and this will be the body, and inside this body we're going to bring our button, so we can maybe type welcome teacher. So and we're going to bring our buttons, yeah. So this button will read log out, right? So you save your file and let's see how it looks like. Okay, so now we want it such that when you click on logout, it should go to a different file, which is logout, and the logout file will log the person out and it will move you to the home page. The reason why we are doing this is because you don't want to write the same thing on every web page we create. Okay, we don't want to write the same logout codes for every web page we create. So we're going to create a file which will work, which will do the logout things, and it will work for all the files on our server. So whenever I click on logout from home, from classes, from tests, from whatever, it will go to that particular file. So we have to create a new file for that. So you click on Command N or Control N, then you press any key, then you press Control S or Command S, then you save the file as logout.php. Alright, so find your folder and save it inside your main directory. The reason why we're not saving it inside this PHP directory is because this logout file is going to work with the other files on the server. That means that whenever the logout function is complete, it will move back to the main file. So if you save it inside the PHP folder, it won't be able to find the main file because it's in the parent folder, but this one is in the subfolder. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So you have to save it inside this main directory so that you can easily get the index, the PHP file. So you save it here. Alright, so we're going to write our PHP code. So open your PHP tags. So the first thing we need to do is to delete the cookie. So if you remember that I told you guys that the cookie helps us know that there is actually someone who has logged in. So when you're logging out, we have to delete the cookie, and we also have to remove the session variable. Okay, so how do you delete a cookie? It's very simple. You just have to set the cookie to a previous date. So you set the cookie to maybe yesterday, and it will delete the cookie. So we're going to just copy the cookie code here. Everything is the same. Very simple to delete the cookie. So you find the logout, then you paste it here. So this 0 refers to the time. Okay, so in the previous tutorials I told you guys that this means that it will expire or it will delete when the browser is closed. So if you want to delete the cookie when you log out, you just type time, then you bring your brackets, then bring -1. So time -1 will replace the 0. That means that it will move to a time in the past. Very simple. And in this variable, because you don't have any past variable, you can delete it and replace it with an empty string. Alright, so you can even type anything in it, or it doesn't really matter. So we've deleted our cookie successfully. The next thing we have to do is to remove the session variable, right? This user variable. So when you want to work a session, you bring session underscore start. So let's bring our session underscore start. Every time you want to work with a session, you have to bring this. So after that, you use this keyword called onset. So onset removes the variable. So onset, then you bring your brackets. So you pass in the session, dollar underscore session. So what was the session? What was the session? It was called user. So the session is called user. So we onset the session. Now we are done with logout. So we are done deleting the cookie, and we are done on setting the session. The next thing we have to do is to move to our home page for the user to sign in again. So you just bring, because, and also you can easily bring header, then you bring your brackets, then you bring your string things, then you bring your location, then you bring a colon. All right. After the location and the colon, you type in the name of the home page. In our case, it's index.php. Remember that. So this will move directly to this page, right? But then we don't want it such that when the user clicks on the back button, it will be able to come back to this same page again. Okay, so you have to bring this before the header, ob start. Okay, so after it moves to the index.php, you exit, you flash everything, then you exit. All right, so we are done with our logout page. This is all we need for the logout page. All right, so yeah, so when we want it such that when you click on this logout button, it will come to this page. So as I showed you guys in the previous videos, that if you want to put an on click for a button, you just type on click and you type in the name of the function in JavaScript. So you're going to do the same thing for the teacher.php. So come to teacher.php and type in the button, type on click. Then you bring your equal to sign, then you bring your brackets. So to move to a different page, I showed you guys in this file that you type location.href, then you bring the name of the file there. So we're going to move to the logout file. So location.href equal to logout.php. You realize that in this one I used two double quotation marks, but then because we are already inside double quotation marks, we can't use it, so we use single quotation marks instead. So logout.php. You can ignore it if you want to, or you can bring it. Okay, so yeah, so we are done with our logout. So let's try it. Click on logout, it will bring you back to the home page. Perfect, we are done with that. But then note that whenever we go to the back, it still comes back to the teacher's page. So how do we prevent that? That means that in the teacher's page, we have to check if the user is logged in. So if the user is not logged in, then we log the user out. Okay, so how do you do this? You come to your HTML, then you type at the top a PHP code. So this PHP file will check in our browser to see whether there is a cookie stored in it. All right, so yeah, so how we're going to write it is that we're going to check if a cookie is set. So if a cookie is set, so what is the name of our cookie? ID, right? If a cookie is set, then you don't do anything else. If it's not set, then you log out, right? Okay, so we're using two things. We're using a cookie and a session. So you have to check if the cookie is set and also if the session is set. So if cookie is set and if session sets. So what is the name of our session in our cookie? If I'm correct, ID and user. Okay, so user. But then I told you guys that if you want to work with sessions, you gotta bring the session underscore start. Okay, we're not going to bring that and see what will happen if we don't do that. So if now we're logged out, so log out, and let me log in again. Whenever I log in again, it brings me here. All right, so because we've not done our logout, let's do our logouts quickly, and it's very simple. Just ob start. All right, then header, location, then ob and flash, and then exit the page. All right, so if we refresh, it will log out. All right, but then it shouldn't log out because it says that if it is not set, if the cookie is in and the session is in, it shouldn't do anything. But then if it's not in, that is when it should log out. But then note that anytime try to I try to sign in, it will log me out again because I never brought the session underscore start keyword. All right, so that is the reason why this thing is very important. You tell the browser that you are starting the session, so it should fetch all your session variables for you. So now note that if I log in again, let me increase the size of this page. If I log in again, now it doesn't log out again. So that is the reason why it's very important to bring this. Okay, so if you are logged out also, let's assume you are logged out and you try to access the teacher page file directly, it will log us out again. So this is very important for security. All right, so and also so that your website doesn't misbehave and all that. Okay, so we are done with the logout for our teacher. Now we have to do the same thing for our students. So you can copy the code, the same code, all right? Copy Control A is very important. We always copy codes. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. And you paste it in the students file. So you're going to change some few things here. We're going to change this title from teachers to students, and maybe welcome students, all right? But then the logging out and all the processes are going to be the same. So let's sign in as a student. What was my students? Okay, I remember my password now. So let's log in as a student. All right. So we are logged in as a student. When you click on logout, the same thing works. So very simple. We are done with what I wanted to teach you for this tutorial, login, and now we are done with the logout. It works. So we're going to duplicate this thing on all our pages on our website so that anytime someone tries to access any of the pages without signing in, it will move the person back to the sign-in page. Okay, so please subscribe to this channel and watch out for the next video.